Greetings. So, the question I get asked most often is, how do I keep a relationship? My answer is usually the same. If she asks you to do something, do it immediately because she doesn't want to really ask to begin with. Let her cool down. Don't force her to talk about something she's mad about. She'll talk when she's ready to. If I'm feeling especially forthright, I'll throw in some advice from Lazarus Long. Rub her feet. Always tell her she's beautiful, especially when she's not. Stuff like that. Keeping a relationship isn't really that hard. Communication is usually the key. Talk about everything, good and bad, be honest, build trust, be faithful. Be there for one another. Leave the past in the past, that includes exes. Know that arguments are normal, that it's not you against each other, it's the two of you against the problem. Know that happiness doesn't last, and that doesn't change, and that change isn't something that can be expected. Don't love each other in spite of your flaws, but because of them. Flaws are something to be appreciated. Become best friends. Appreciate each other. Make sure to express that appreciation. Love each other unconditionally. Don't underestimate the little things. It's the little things like good morning texts, flowers. Don't let the other one walk away. Hold each other tight when you're mad. Cuddle regularly. Forgive quickly. Play with hair. Talk about everything. Tell stupid jokes. Also laugh at the other's stupid jokes. A sense of humor is always important. But the thing is, when most people ask me how to keep a relationship, what they really mean is, how do I save a relationship? And the problem with that one is most of the time, by the time they're asking me, it's too late to save the relationship. You literally can't undo the damage that's happened, and trying to fix it probably will just make it worse. My advice is to try and figure out the problem, apologize, then don't do it again. That might work, but if you put too much effort into it, if you try to keep the relationship going by sheer force, it's just not good. It'll change you, and that's not usually in a good way. You become darker, colder, harder. It's like a slow transformation into a comic book villain. You start out this likable guy she loved, except for one or two of your flaws, and you end up becoming something entirely different, something that's almost impossible to be loved by anyone. So I don't recommend doing that. Think of a relationship as a china plate. You can drop it, and it'll break. Then you can fix it with some glue, and let it dry, and it's almost as good as new. But if it drops and breaks again, then you can probably fix it. But how many times can you break it before it's not much more than dust and glue? It'll barely resemble the original plate. Would you even want to eat after that after it's been broken 3 to 5 times? Instead, I recommend that you identify your flaws and basically inoculate them against any flaws you can't change. Something similar to, hey, I know I have my flaws, but I hope that when I mess up, you'll forgive me. Or simply bring up your character flaws as a joke, and hopefully they won't take them too seriously. If all else fails, yeah, you can become that B-list comic book villain and make just your solution to saving the relationship as ridiculous as possible. Hopefully they'll laugh, and it might work. If it's not a fight you can win, you might as well have some fun in the process. But in all seriousness, there is one possible technique that might work. And I know I say some ridiculous things on this channel, and I know they're always funny, but this right here is very serious. I got this little piece of advice, or I found this somewhere. A divorce lawyer actually asked these questions, ironically enough. It only works if both parties are involved and might be willing to give each other one more chance. 4 simple questions. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a quick fix. It's a long talk, probably all night. You have to be honest, be willing to listen to each other. Compromise is always key. Remember, it isn't your life you're affecting, it's both of you. So I advise you sit down with a piece of paper and ask each other these 4 simple questions. Have I done everything I can to save my relationship? Right now, is breaking up really the best option? Who are the people that influenced me the most? How many difficulties have we overcome together, and how did we meet? Remember, no one starts dating to break up. We live in a society that throws away something instead of fixing it. And that seems to have mentally stepped into our relationships too. Have a good one.